In session, correspondent Gene Casares is outside of the hotel in Lima, Peru, where Sloot is said to have beaten and killed 21-year-old Stephanie Flores Ramirez. Gene, how did he confess?
Well, it was unexpected. It was about 5:30 yesterday afternoon. He was in the midst of an interrogation that reports are saying lasted 10 hours. And he started to cry, got very emotional, and then confessed, saying, according to local reports, that he had gone to get some coffee. He had come back. When he came back, that Stephanie Flores was on his computer, and that she realized who he was, that he was the Joran Sloot of Natalie Holloway, and that she was very upset, and he was even more upset and felt that she had invaded his privacy, and he then described how he killed her. Now, what we are right now at the Hotel TAC, because what is going to happen here is called a reconstruction. The crime scene analysts, the police, are going to come here, along with what we understand Joran Sloot and his attorney, as he describes to authority exactly how he did what he did. We're waiting for this. It could happen today. It was going to happen at 5 o'clock this morning, but it has been detained. But we have a very special guest with us today. It is a defense attorney, Jacqueline Alvarado. She is from Lima, Peru. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos esta tarde. And thank you so much for doing this interview in English with us. Jacqueline, I want to ask you first, the reconstruction that is going to be happening, what is it exactly?
Well, as his name says, the reconstruction is to react the form how the criminal makes the crime. No? Any act has to be reconstructed, and he has to do it all what he made to the victim. That's a reconstruction. The reconstruction has to be guided by the prosecutor, by the criminal prosecutor. He is the person who guides in this preliminary investigation has a mission to guide this investigation, this preliminary investigation, and has to be here with the criminal or with the defendant.
And this is so important to the prosecutor's case because we don't have formal charges yet.
Not formal charges is not yet, because first has to be accumulated all the proof, the preliminary proof. That's why we're here with the reconstruction, and this is important for the charges that has to make the prosecutor in the time, in the opportune, in the right time.
Now, his attorney is by his side when they come here. What would you say to Joran Sloot if you were his attorney here during the reconstruction?
Could you repeat, please?
¿Qué dice, qué consejo a Joran Sloot aquí?
For the
Reconstruction.
First, that this person, the Joran, the right name, yeah, Joran, has to do all himself the reconstruction. There does not be forced to do it. He has to guide. He has to guide how he entered to the room, why he murdered, how he do it, therefore he do it. If he do it with her house, with the racket, everything has to be written in the document that's called the reconstruction, the act of reconstruction. The act of reconstruction. That's the document that has to be written all the simple and all different acts from the beginning and to the end of the murder.
All right. Jacqueline, thank you so much. A defense attorney from right here in Lima, Peru. We understand 15 to 35 years is the term for murder, but with confessing, it could be a lighter sentence. It could help him in sentencing. It could be, in fact, a mitigating factor. Ryan?
Okay, Gene, one more question if you've still got that attorney with you. What happens if the confession that Joran Sloot already gave does not match up with the reconstruction that he does at the hotel?
Okay, one more question. What if the reconstruction doesn't match, no es igual a la confesión? What if it is not the same as the confession that he gave?
Okay, that all this has a process. the judge has to gather all the proof that is on the experience, on the files. So he has to read, no, how was the act of reconstruction and how was his declaration on the preliminary investigation, and there's going to be another declaration of the defendant that has to be on the trial. And finally, the judge in a sentence has to have enough proof, it's important, enough proof to have a condemn for him.
All right. One fast question. During the interrogation, 10 hours, do you think they asked him about Natalie Holloway?
During the investigation,
La preguntas por 10 horas. Sucre Natalie Holloway. Preguntas de Natalie Holloway.
It's 10 hours is so much time to ask a person. So the prosecutor or the judge has to take attention of that, because it's not to have 1 or 2 hours asking questions.
So it's a very long time, 10 hours, and they can ask many questions in 10 hours. So I think it's, at this point, anyone's guess what the prosecution asked him. Ryan?
All right, Gene Casares, thank you so much. Also, thank you to Dr. Jacqueline Alvarado, and really appreciate it, Gene. And Gene, you know what, this case is similar to Natalie Holloway's disappearance, as we just talked about. Vandersloot was the last person seen with her, and Natalie's dad, Dave Holloway, spoke out about Vandersloot's arrest on Good Morning America today. Take a listen.
I would just like to say that, you know, all the pain and suffering that we have gone through, hopefully justice serves this time.
The Holloway family obviously has a huge interest in these latest developments, as Joran Vandersloot remains the main suspect in their daughter's disappearance. Now, it's been about 5 years since Natalie vanished, and just today, Natalie's mother, Beth Holloway, opened the Natalie Holloway Research Center in Washington. It's a non-for-profit organization dedicated to assisting the families of missing persons. And Beth Holloway released a statement about Vandersloot's arrest. She says that her thoughts and prayers are with the Flores family, and she, quote, knows their suffering, close quote. And joining me now to talk about today's developments, Vinda D'Souza. She represents the Holloway family, and she joins us right now from Aruba. Vinda, so great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, Ryan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, you've spoken, I understand, to Dave Holloway. You've remained connected with the family. What's the family's reaction to all the developments today, including Joran Vandersloot's confession?
Well, I haven't spoken to Dave today yet. I've been trying to reach him. It's been nearly impossible, but I have spoken to him after Joran's arrest, of course. I spoke to him the day before yesterday. And he feels for the family in Peru. And as you just heard, they understand their suffering. And it's my understanding that he hopes and prays that, as I feel as well with him, hopes and prays that Joran will somehow crack and say or shed a light on what happened to their daughter, to Natalie.
Okay, and you know what, Dave Holloway, Natalie's father, he seemed to point the finger at Beth Holloway when he spoke by phone to George Stephanopoulos on Good Morning America today. And Dave Holloway was asked about the FBI complaint saying that Vandersloot asked someone in Birmingham, Alabama to wire money to find out about what happened to Natalie. Take a listen to this.
Well, by design, that was handled by the FBI, and unfortunately, I did not know anything about it. I think the only person that was involved in this incident was Beth.
Okay, Vinda, let me ask you this. Is there any chance that Vandersloot's confession about killing Flores can help in some way solve Natalie's case?
Well, his confession in killing the girl Flores, the young lady Flores in Peru, directly does not have any influence on this case. It's two different jurisdictions, as you will well know, in two different countries, and the Peruvian authorities will handle their case there, and the Peruvian authorities handle their case here. But then again, as I said a little while ago, hopefully him...
Oh, I'm running out of time.